Hey guys, it's Kevin Kreider, More Than Just Muscle. I want to share with you three tips that I do to avoid fatigue. Number one is I avoid these three foods: processed sugar, gluten, and lactose. They just really don't work for you. A lot of times after you've actually reduced your gluten intake for a long period of time, when you have gluten again, you actually feel slower. You actually have a little bit of diarrhea too. At least that's what's happened to me. Your body really just doesn't like it. It's just that we grow a tolerance to gluten, just like alcohol. First time you have alcohol, 2 drinks, you get drunk. Next time you go out, you're gonna have 3. Next time you go out, you're gonna have 4. And it goes on, goes on. Just like gluten, okay? When you get rid of it, you don't realize how sensitive you are to it, and your body really just doesn't like it. Now, are you allergic to it like celiacs? Probably not. A lot of people aren't. You're not gonna die from it. You're not gonna get allergic reactions like that. But the thing is, we are certainly intolerant to it a little bit. It almost feels like you're going slower motion when you have gluten again. So it's really not good for my anti-fatigue. So if you want to actually fight the fatigue, I recommend getting rid of those as well. And then lactose. Look guys, we're not made to eat and digest dairy. There's just so much information out there that supports that. You know, it's just like when we drink milk, we get that phlegmy feeling. That's your antibodies and your body's immune system trying to fight all that cow pus and stuff. So it's just really not good for you. You're making your body work super hard and harder than it has to. Now, when it goes to sugar, processed sugar, when you get rid of sugar, you actually start to get to withdrawal. You get tired, you get fatigued. It's almost like a drug withdrawal. There's something wrong with this, right? So we become more dependent on, just like any drug, to get the same effect, we have to have more. That's why sugar companies are so profitable, and it works because it makes you keep wanting to come back for more. So get rid of sugar and you're gonna find a huge increase in energy, and you won't be as fatigued as much. And also too, it just works better that way. The second tip is to yawn more. I know this sounds weird, but in my acting class, I took voice and speech, and my coach said basically, when you yawn, you get more oxygen to our brain. And when we get more oxygen to our brain, we don't feel as fatigued. We feel more aware, and we feel more alert. And that made us better actors because it's about experiencing real life so we can create emotions. And the thing is, when we are fatigued, and we actually take small, shallow breaths too. And the thing is, when we have lots of oxygen into our brain, into our body, we won't feel as fatigued. And yawning is actually a way to lubricate our joints, our eyes, so something's dry. So that way we get to feel more energized that way, and we're more into our bodies. So yawn. I know a lot of social settings say don't yawn because it shows boredom, but sometimes actually it's just not because it's just because you don't have enough oxygen going on. All right guys, the next one is, and this is gonna be counterproductive, cut back on your caffeine intake. I know this sounds counterproductive too, because you're like, caffeine, ooh, I can't do that. But here's the thing, most of us go over the recommended dosage, which is about 300 to 500 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is about 6 cups of caffeine. And that's a tremendous amount. It'll actually start doing the opposite for you, or at least it did for me. I started to feel more tired. And the moment I started to reduce my caffeine intake, I got more energy actually the next day, and I didn't need as much, and I got to be myself throughout the day. Yes, there's a little bit of a withdrawal. You might feel a little bit sluggish, just like any withdrawal from anything, but the thing is, it definitely is rewardable. But I also recommend working on your nutrition that way too, because just because you get rid of caffeine, and if you don't work on your nutrition too, it's gonna feel like, oh, nothing's working. But if you work on both at the same time, miracles will start to happen. You'll just start to feel yourself and get more energy. You won't feel as fatigued. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought some value to you and just a new way of thinking. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also download the free intermittent fasting handbook. I guess the 4th tip for fighting fatigue is to do intermittent fasting. You can also watch my intermittent fasting videos to show you how to do it and why, but you can also download this free handbook, and it will guide you throughout the whole process. So you can download that, it's free, and I'll see you guys next week.